This is where things start to get a little crazy. Hi guys, I'm starting the video off a little bit prematurely. We're gonna be sewing today. We're sewing my Pinterest board. I'm really excited. The fairy tops, we're gonna get around to it. And honestly, I've been feeling very creatively charged lately, which hasn't always been the case. I actually just finished a nail set that was on my Pinterest board, so I thought it was fitting. So I'm just gonna show you that really quick and then we'll get right into the sewing content. These are the nails that I made. I will tag the original artist down below. I'm very beginner, so I've just been using Pinterest as a guide. I just love these. I think they're so fun. And it took me 8 hours. Took me 8 hours, so just had to show you. We're kicking off the making my whimsical fairy Pinterest board, kicking it off with a bang. We're gonna do some fairy whimsical tops. My goal is to make this a semi-easy to replicate tutorial with whatever you have lying around. I think first steps are to see what we're working with. Let us begin. My matcha matches my shirt. I got a toasted marshmallow nut pod, and honestly, it's really good in the matcha. I made this in my pottery class. I feel like I always talked about my pottery class. I never really showed you my stuff. Oh, I completely forgot. I had sweetest, nicest, coolest brand that I cannot believe I had never heard of. Elsac sent me a few of their pieces. They're not paying me or anything, but I felt like I wanted to show you guys, and it's very fairy whimsical vibe. So I'll show you that really quick, and then we're gonna get right into sewing. This first skirt is definitely my favorite. The layering, the lace, it's so good. Followed by this skirt, the polka dots. This skirt is so unique. It's a full maxi, gorgeous. Everything is going to be linked down below if you see anything that you like. Again, not sponsored. I just wanted to put together some fun spring fairy outfits, and the pieces are so unique. These skirts, I'm literally obsessed, and I feel like it really inspires me to make clothes when styling such unique pieces. Quick run through of some pieces that I've just collected for this project, little thrift haul if you will. This, which I feel like is a really promising piece, it's this cutie little violet lace bra, which is amazing because half our work is done. I bought some just like lace, stretchy lace tops, like 100% cotton, just floral. A lot of these tops I bought to cut up for the fabric. Stretchy lace. This, which I think is a tablecloth, but I just thought this like mesh material was fun. It's very beachy. If you saw my last Sew My Pinterest Board video, you probably already saw this, but this is like a gorgeous silk. It's 100% silk, and it's got beads along here, and then these tassels are so cute. Like lots and lots of lace. The rest are just like curtains, honestly. I've got this satin pink one. I've got kind of like a iridescent, like crazy iridescent one. I'm gonna brainstorm a little bit, Pinterest a little. I think I have an idea. I got a little bit lost yesterday in the Pinterest rabbit hole. I did a deep dive. I figured out what we're making, but it is the next day. We're learning our lesson. We're buying patterns. I'm gonna purchase this pattern. I'll definitely link the patterns that I used in the description. I'm just going to print and cut out the patterns, and then we will see what material we're working with. I finished my pattern. It's really honestly pretty simple. It's just an inner and an outer cup and then a bodice. I like to do the pattern first because I use scrap fabric. You need to know how much material you really need. I'm gonna walk you through my thought process, and maybe that will help me make a decision. I thought that it would be really cute. I have some of this really pretty embroidered material, and this is kind of the vibe I want. I mean, obviously I need 4 of these for lining purposes, but I really only need 1 to be, and it kind of fits perfectly. I feel like you always need way more fabric than you think you need. I do have this, which is that like mesh kind of material, which is not that fun, but it actually goes really well with this. Wait, and I have so much of it. No way. No way. I have 2 of them. Wait, is it meant to be? I'm gonna cut out my fabric. I'm gonna be cutting this. Wish me luck. Okay, I tried my best to get as much of the pattern as I could. Hope I did that right. This pattern was kind of tricky. If you are planning on doing this with something like this, where you only have enough fabric to do the exterior and then you're gonna line it with a different fabric, you have to cut out 4 of these in total. Right now I have 2, but you want some like this and then some like this. Now that I have the embroidered sets, I'm now just gonna cut out. I actually might just use the remaining material of this just so that I don't waste it. I'm going to cut out the lining sets. 2 sets of 2. I'm gonna get 2 more sets of 2. 1 with these facing this way when I cut them out, and then 1 with these facing down when I cut them out. I have some exciting news. We're making progress and we're making progress quickly. The last thing we need to do before we start assembling the top, create the tie, which if you're in any level, even beginner sewer, you've probably had to assemble a tie before. And they're just kind of annoying and tedious, and it's a lot of pressing. The amazing part about upcycling things and using fabric that already exists from things like curtains and runners and tablecloths, I might try to bypass making the tie and just cut the seam of this very close to the edge. I just had to share that. It's gonna be one less thing I have to sew, and I'll be making use of the fabric because otherwise the seam would just be a scrap. I'm just gonna use the pattern for the length. We're making serious progress. I'm gonna start with the lining. So it's a 3/8 seam allowance. I'm gonna sew right sides together. Perfect. Yay, okay, so it worked. That is gonna be one of the linings. And we're just going to repeat that for the other one. I feel like I procrastinate my sewing projects so much, and it really is like if you can get through the printing off the pattern, taping out the pattern, cutting out the fabric part, the rest is such a breeze. The rest is more like gratifying, I guess is what it is. You start to see it coming together, and then that, at least for me, probably just my ADHD, it gives me the dopamine that I need to like pushing through, where when I'm in the middle of cutting out a pattern, I'm like, do I actually want to sew this right now? Because when I see all those sheets print off the printer, I'm like, do we really want to start this? Every time when I get to this stage, I'm like, thank God I started that. A little visual. This is what they should look like with the right sides pinned. They should be symmetrical. We're just sewing along this line, and then when we fold them open, they're going to be little cups that mirror each other. And then my other two mirror each other as well. These turned out so cute. I haven't pressed it yet, but I finished one half. I figured I'd show you a finished result, and then I'll show you how I lined it up. But it's got the lining, and it is starting to look like a top. Basically, we're gonna be sewing right sides together, the lining, and then the embroidered fabric. We're just gonna be sewing like an A shape. We're gonna leave the bottom open, and I'm going to place the tie lined up with the top, and then I'm gonna layer the right sides of both. It's gonna be like sandwiched in there. Stitch along this side, stitch going back down, and then turn it right side out. This is what it looks like when you get done sewing it. We're just gonna turn it right side out. I feel like I did a good job really maximizing the amount of embroidered work that was gonna show. We just need the bodice to attach these two. I need to press these. It's starting to take shape. This is where things start to get a little crazy. We have two pieces for the bodice. If you're working with fabric that's patterned, you want the right sides facing towards each other. I ended up having to trim the bottom of these. So if you do end up using this pattern, maybe it was just a user error. I assume it was just a user error, but I had a very large kind of curve, and it needs to be more flat because you want to be able to line these up so that when you go to sew, all of it is enclosed. Front side facing down, good side of the bodice facing inward, and then we're gonna add the straps and here, and then we're just gonna mirror the other piece and pin. Essentially, we're going to be sewing starting here, and we're just gonna sew all the way around and then leave an opening at the bottom to turn everything right side facing out. I'm nervous. I was feeling really confident up until having to lay all of that out. I feel like too with this part, you have to be really careful of the straps. They're kind of just floating around in there. I'm just gonna push through this. I'm really nervous. It's not gonna turn out after all of this work. I'm scared. Okay, to show you, I'm gonna turn it right side out first before I cut this off. If this looks decent, I will just go ahead and cut this excess. Oh my God, wait, see, this is why. Just trust the girlies that make the patterns. I'm gonna turn it inside out again, trim the excess. We're gonna trim, I'm gonna press, and then we'll try it on. I'm so excited. We did it. I'm obsessed. It's not perfect. I'm definitely making this again. Obsessed with her. It's so adjustable. I feel like this is such a good beginner sewing project because it's so forgiving with the adjustable straps here and the adjustable straps around the back that, like, let me show you the back. Literally the most adjustable top ever. I absolutely love this top. Honestly, I feel like the only thing I would do differently is I wouldn't double line this if I'm going to use like a sheer, because I would love to do this with like a lace material. I love that these are lined, but this I don't really think needs lined, and I think it would honestly cut the sew time in half. The curtain hem hack for the ties in the back, is that even a sentence? Saved so much time as well. This project only took me like 2 hours. It turned out so good. If you guys want to check out the pattern, I will leave it linked down below. It was literally $3. Practice makes perfect, because this was the first sewing project I've ever done where I didn't have to seam rip. Small progress, but progress nonetheless. If you guys want to see more sewing content, please let me know. I have lots of things that I want to make. Some non-sewing stuff too, just like Pinterest board things. I think we're due for a thrifting video though, so that will be next week. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to y'all next week. Bye guys.